Hi, I'm Jake Miller, and this is going to be my sports development placement presentation. So, to start with, my presentation is at the SU, as you know, and the SU is a democratic body that runs by all kinds of people, right from full-time students to part-time students, so they can make students have the best experience while at university. The union is crucial to running the university. That gives students a voice in a way, as they decide what happens. And the mission statement for the SU is simply to make life better for the students. Therefore, it's up to them what happens and what the SU does. Consequently, the SU provide a variety of different ways to make the students' life better. So what does Student Union do? Well, as you can see here, they do a lot of different things, right from student voice, advice and support, eat, drink and shop, opportunities and sports and societies. And I'll go into them in more detail one by one now. So first of all, we've got student voice, and this gives students a chance to say whatever they want and have a word with people who work at the university, just to try and, so the university can change things to suit them. They can do this through the big meeting, the big vote, student council, and finally UConn SU elections. There is other ways that students can give their opinions, but these are just the main ones. The second one is advice and support. So obviously the university, especially the SU, gives students advice on many different things and support if they need it. So we've got advice service to start with, which offers advice on anything really. Academic matters from plagiarism to exams and revision. Money and benefits, so how a student would budget their money for the year so they don't run out of money. Housing and accommodation, so they'd help them get somewhere to live for the year. Employment, so they'd help anything from part-time job to full-time job. Health and well-being, so just make sure that the students are fit and healthy. This could be sport, which we'll link in to get into. And finally headroom, which is information about stress and how to control that sort of thing. Also there's the eat, drink and shop. I know it doesn't relate to sport, but it is essential for the students. So they've obviously got the shop, which is called Essentials, so students can buy everything they need. Source bar, students can socialise and have a good time with their friends in an evening, whereas the atrium cafe is more day-to-day sort of things and just enjoying themselves in there. And finally, you can print, design and copy next to the SU. Opportunities. At the university there's lots of opportunities available, whether this is sport or anything, but students don't know about them, so they can't really get involved. This is where this centre comes into play at the SU. So this could be volunteering to get rewards or anything like that. Obviously the Liberty House Award, you can get rewards with money off coaching badges and various other things. And then finally the job shop, so they help students to find full-time, part-time jobs while they're at university. Sport and societies. One big part of the SU is the sport and societies, so it is the GetIn2, the Team UConn, that sort of things. And students can join a society, create a society that suits their interests, so they can enjoy themselves and have fun with people who obviously enjoy the same interests. Also there's Team UConn, and obviously they have 35 teams across the uni, from ranging from football, netball, rounders, anything like that. Any student can join them, and their initiative is to help students. They offer another initiative to help students to find volunteer opportunities. So this could be, for example, coaching, what I'm involved in. So it's going to benefit me on my course and in my development really. And then finally, there's a scheme called GetIn2, which every student is entitled to, and you can get involved in a range of sports. I can't think of one that isn't run by the SU, but my placement will be during this GetIn2, so I'll expand on that video in a few slides. So what is GetIn2? It is an initiative run by the SU to get as many students as they can playing in sport really. It doesn't matter whether you have playing experience or not, it's just more play when you want recreationally rather than joining the team and committing yourself. There is a lot of different events, so I know I've joined in with the 5-a-side leagues, and obviously there's 11-a-side leagues, futsal, all things like that, so everyone can have something to suit everyone really. Lots of students do get involved with it, but there is still more to go, so we can get more and more people each year. It'll be very beneficial. So there is a lot of projects, as you might know, but these are the main projects that I've discovered when I was researching. The first one is GetIn2, turn up and play. So this is one that I did. Futsal, you just turn up when you want and just play football really, just so you have a good time with your friends. And that's, again, the jogging club, rebel rounders, dodgeball, all things like that. Then there's GetIn2 the leagues, which I play in, which is obviously 11-a-side and 5-a-side leagues, so it's a bit more of a competitive nature than just you turn up and play. GetIn2 your halls is more competing against other halls, so you might have friends in other halls and you want to beat them, so that's that sort of thing. As well as this, you get your free gym membership each year, so you stay fit and healthy while you're studying. And then finally, Refugee football, which is the placement which I'm going to be on. And this is a new project, but it's something that I'm really interested in. But to be honest, SU don't really offer, they offer everything, so that no one's going to be stuck without something to do, so they constantly have something to get involved with. So now we go on to local aims. As Preston City Council work with Preston Development Team, obviously they've come up with an initiative which is to increase and sustain lifelong participation in sport and physical activity. So they just want more people to get involved in sport and then stick with it, rather than dropping out. And then the Preston Sports Forum have a range of objectives which they wish to achieve. And these are to increase the membership to sports clubs across Preston, to increase the number of coaches, officials and volunteers in sport, to provide coach education opportunities, to provide club development opportunities, to promote effective links between schools and clubs, to promote effective links between higher education, further education networks and sports clubs, to deploy student volunteers, to operate a small grant scheme for sports clubs, talented coaching and talented individuals to access, to support the annual Preston Sports Awards, and to develop and support sport-specific forums and development groups. And from that, I've noted 3 main things. And the first one that links with GetIn2 in my project is to increase the number of coaches, officials and volunteers in sport. So Refugee football, obviously, they're going to need volunteers each week to help that sort of project run. Without that, the project wouldn't be able to run. So, and also, there could be in the future, there could be some coaching involved. So then again, they're going to need coaches for that. So that both links into my course I'm getting into. The second one is to promote effective links between higher education or further education networks and sports clubs to deploy student volunteers. So again, volunteers, they're going to be involved with the clubs, and it's getting the students to integrate themselves with this project. And at the moment, there isn't enough student volunteers, as you might know, but that's how it links in and how we're going to progress that. The final one is develop and support sport-specific forums and development groups. So refugees, as there's 150 in Preston, we need to try and give them something to do because they don't get much money a week. So they only get a certain amount of money a week and they want to get involved in sport, but they haven't got the money for it. So this is where we're going to work with them and develop that type of group. The national aims. Sport England have got 3 main objectives that they want to achieve. And they are recognising and taking full advantage of the unique role of sport and active recreation and contributing to a wide array of policy and community aspirations, including leisure, health and education. The second one is using sport and recreation as a fundamental part of planning and delivery of sustainable communities. And the final one is the development of partnership working and using sport and active recreation as a common interest. All 3 of these do link with GetIn2 in one way or another. So we're trying, as you can see there, active recreation as a common interest. So we want to get the refugees and the students to obviously play football recreationally and enjoy that because we're interested in it. And also I discovered that Sport England have an additional aim, which is to give 3/4 of university students aged 18 to 24 a chance to take up a new sport or continue playing sport while they study. So this project will get more students involved so that it will meet that objective of having more students involved that will play a part in that. So Refugee Football, my project, what is it? It's a project run through GetIn2 and it's part of the Refugee Welcome event run by the SU. So the refugees and asylum seekers can't afford it, as mentioned before, so it's just something that's free to play so they can play football and keep healthy. The SU provide everything, so free, all the equipment, then obviously there's the sports arena and the various other things like that, as well as the free transport so they can get to and from the facilities. The UConn students do run the projects and ex-students, so without them they wouldn't be able to run, so they're the main focus from this. So the facts about the refugees or asylum seekers. So obviously there's around 150 in Preston, and they came up from London when they arrived in the UK, and Shana obviously spoke to them about the community project to get involved in sport. And obviously this case is through football. And all the refugees, or almost all of them, aren't allowed to work in England, therefore the money they get that's it, so they don't get anything else. They've got to try and split that evenly, which is difficult with the amount of money they get as it's so little. Therefore, that is the reason why the free project is being run by the Students' Union. So my project, for my placement, obviously I was spending 30 hours with the Refugee Football project, and we're trying to develop this in many different ways. During the project, I'm going to have a variety of roles, and I've listed them up here First of all, is going to be to participate in sessions for the refugees, so to help them get to know me and I'll get to know them. Help them run the sessions and help the organisation. So obviously organising not the transport, but organising the registers and then organising the teams when we get there and various other aspects. Promoting the refugee football project in order to get more students involved. So that'll be my main task, to try and put posts out there to get people involved and knowing about this project, as not many people know about it. Also, it could lead to coaching. I know I've mentioned before, but coaching could come into it. So I could use my course to benefit the refugees to make them a better player. And finally, get to know the participants and welcome them into our community, which is the overall aim, to integrate them into our community. By providing the facilities and the equipment, we're benefiting their health, so it'll benefit them physically, mentally and psychologically too, as they'll just continue to be healthy. Finally, the aim of my project is to integrate refugees and students together in order to create a community. And this is solely because at the moment there's no students getting involved, it's only the ones who are on the project. And therefore that's my aim. And in the next slide I'll explain why. So, how am I going to do this? There is a lot of different ways that can be done, that can be taken out to do this. However, I've made 3 main ones I think will benefit the most to the students at the university. So first of all, social media. A lot of students now, all students I'd say, are on social media. So posting on that will get the word around about the project. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I can put posts on all of them and get friends down because they'll see that. So all my friends are students at the university mainly, so they'll see it and come down. Posting leaflets around the campus, so I'll be producing posters that can be stuck up in classrooms and student union, and leaflets that can be left in local establishments. And then once you see it, you can take a leaflet, and then obviously they could bring their friends and it could lead to more participation. And finally, presentations within lectures around the university. So I'll be doing presentations during lectures to try and get more people knowing about the project, which in turn will hopefully, fingers crossed, get more people involved and integrate students within the community. A final note is sustainability. How will the project keep running? I know at the moment there's obviously 2 people who run it now, but when they leave university, what's going to happen then? At the moment, I think me and Alex, we will take over and try and run that, but then again you've got to think what's going to happen after that. What will happen? So we need to try and get the students in so that they're enjoying it and then they'll happily run it, and then that'll continue to happen for years to come. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've got any questions.
Brilliant.
Spot on that, mate.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what do you think you specifically taking part alongside the refugees, sort of, how does that help the sessions?
I think that it helps them to get to know me and other students, and us to get to know them, so they feel welcomed to our community, so they feel like in town, for example, I've seen them. I've spoken to them when I've been out. I've just seen them in town.
Yeah.
I've spoken to them, so I get to know them that way, and then it's just going to become a friendship sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they'll feel comfortable talking to me about anything really.
Yeah. So you could probably say that this project sort of helps create a bit of a gateway between the student union, because it works specifically with students,
Yeah.
but then reaching out into the
Yeah.
wider community as well.
Yeah, so it targets different groups, so students can get involved with
Yeah.
the refugees.
Brilliant.